Hey folks, my name is Jacob. I am the Chief of Product at Check, and today we're taking a tour through payment settings located in the account settings. You can find that by going to the Office tab down there at the bottom. It's the fourth tab on the far right, and then tapping that cog in the top right corner. When we do that, it'll pull up our account settings, and you'll notice just down there around the middle, we have the Invoices and Payments tab. So we'll go ahead and tap on that, and let's walk through each of the settings here. Now, default payment method will allow you to set a method if you're logging a manual payment. Now, obviously, if you're accepting payments through Check, those payments will be marked as a web payment and they will be logged separately. But if you are logging a manual payment, such as cash, check, Venmo, or anything other than payments through Check, then you can set a default. So a lot of our folks will accept cash, and that is totally fine. You just go ahead and add the payment on the client's profile or by pressing the big blue plus button on any of the main tabs, and that will allow you to add a payment. When you do, it will automatically default to whichever default payment method you select here. It just saves you a little time. Right beneath that, we have the option to include addresses on invoices. So if you have clients who like to kick it old school and write checks and mail them to you, then make sure that you have that toggled on. Beneath that, we have the default automated invoice frequency. Now that's a lot of big words, but basically this is when do you want invoices to be sent out? We have per month, which aggregates all of the invoices for the jobs that you have completed for a client in that month, and then sends out one invoice at the end of the month for that total outstanding balance. A lot of commercial clients like to do the once a month option. Then we have per day, which will send an invoice at the end of the day for any jobs completed that day. So basically, if let's say you had 2 jobs for a client on the same day, it will aggregate both of those invoices and send them out at the end of the day. We have per job next, which is the one that we most likely recommend. This will go ahead and send an invoice to the client right after you tap complete in your job details. And then finally, we have do not invoice. If you would rather not send those invoices out, that is totally fine. We will go ahead and generate that invoice for you though, and you'll be able to access the invoice through the invoice details, which we'll cover in another video. If you'd like to go ahead and print out that PDF and deliver it to your client in person. It is important to note that while the default automated invoice frequency is set here, you can override this on a per client basis. So if Jane Doe would rather receive it per day, but you usually send it out per month, that's totally fine. You can override that in Jane Doe's client settings. And the final payment and invoice settings down there at the bottom is the default invoice type. You can send these through email or through SMS. We would suggest SMS since most of the time people have phone numbers more than they have emails, but you can do it either way. And if you have their email and you have it set to send via email, then you will be CC'd on that email and be able to see the correspondence there. All right, that is it for payment settings. I hope that has been helpful, and we'll see you in another vid.